Ramadan Mubarak, Ramadan Kareem.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Amma ba'd. Fa'udhu billahi sami'il alim minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon us all. It is a fact that people and societies commemorate and celebrate certain special days due to certain significance they possess. But have you thought of a month, every day of which is a special day? Every day of which is a blessed day. And this special day or special days are not only special to an individual or one society, but rather special to the whole of mankind. And above all, special to the creator of mankind, God the Almighty. I am referring to the blessed month of Ramadan, the holy month of Ramadan, as is referred to by others, is holy and special to Muslims across the world. It is known as the month of fasting. But when we talk of fasting, we are not referring to just the abstinence from food and water, but there come with it a lot of blessings that Allah the Almighty Himself has put in this month of Ramadan. When you look at our professional fields in the world, let's take a look at our professional fields in the world. Every progressive institution makes arrangements for the development, professional development of people that work in there. What is known as continuing professional development is a very important and integral part of every progressive institution. Progressive continuing development activities may come in the form of trainings, may come in the form of workshops, may come in the form of crash courses, and so on and so forth. But is it possible that when man, through our wisdom, which is nothing comparable to the wisdom of God the Almighty, have realized or come to the realization that we need such training, such exercises to continuously progress on our professional fields in our worldly matters? Is it then possible that God the Almighty, who is the source and the fountainhead of all wisdom, would neglect such training sessions, such workshops, such progressive, continuing progressive development activities? Ramadan serves as a platform. It serves as a training session for Muslims across the world. And this significance that I am talking about is not only limited to Islam. Allah the Almighty says, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyam. O ye who believe, fasting has prescribed for you. Kama kutiba ala alladhina min qablikum. Just as it was prescribed for those who were before you. If you surf through the religions that we have currently on earth, the major religions that we have, you find that fasting is there in one form or the other. Go to Judaism, go to Christianity, go to Hinduism, go to any other major religion, and you find fasting to be one thing that is there present in one way or the other, because this is what develops, it serves as a training ground for the development of one's spiritual well-being. The founder of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community mentions in one of his writings, and I would want to quote exactly what he says, that fasting is not merely staying hungry and thirsty. Rather, its reality and its impact can only be gained through experience. It is human nature that the less one eats, the more one's spiritual spirit is purified, and thus his capacity for visions increases. The will of God is to decrease one kind of sustenance and increase the other. A person who is fasting should always be mindful that he is not just required to stay hungry. On the contrary, he should remain engaged in the remembrance of God so that he can cut asunder ties of worldly desires and amusements and is wholly devoted to God. This necessarily means that fasting is not just the abstinence from food and water, but it comes along with certain conditions. One must fully be engaged in all those conditions to reap the utmost benefits from the month of Ramadan. One is expected to be engaged in the remembrance of God. One is expected to be engaged in Salat, which is the greatest form of the remembrance of God, in a manner which is more than he used to do. One is expected to even do more charity during the month of Ramadan. In effect, all sorts of good deeds are to be increased during the month of Ramadan, and resultantly, all sorts of evil deeds and bad deeds, vices, are supposed to be decreased to the barest minimum, if not fully annihilated from a man's life. This brings up a society when we have peace and tranquility prevailing in the society during this month of Ramadan. And as I said earlier on, it is not just the month of Ramadan, but the month of Ramadan serves as a propeller, a training ground for us to continue these good deeds during the other months in the year. So if you put all things together, the month of Ramadan does not serve as a blessing only for the individual, but it serves as a blessing for the society where he lives. It serves as a source of blessing for even the country where he lives in, and in effect, the world at large. The world will be more beautiful when people put up more beautiful characters. The world will be more beautiful if people remember their Creator and as such show love to the creation of God the Almighty. And it is for this reason that the Holy Prophet ﷺ says in one hadith that during the month of Ramadan, the Satan is shackled and the doors of heaven are opened for anybody who wants to enter. So this is a time where we see that, yes, in the world, sin continues to go on and people continue to engage in all sorts of vices even during the month of Ramadan. So this saying is there specifically for those who adhere to the teachings of Islam by abstaining from all these vices and actually imbibing in them the good virtues that they are expected to put on as a character. So if a person does all these things, then what would be the end result? What would be there for him to take home? Allah the Almighty says in one hadith Qudsi reported by the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The hadith Qudsi is a hadith that the Holy Prophet sallallahu says in the wordings of Allah the Almighty Himself, but it is not part of the Holy Quran. So in one hadith Qudsi, the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that Allah the Almighty said that every deed of a man is for him except fasting, and Allah Himself becomes the reward of such a person. If we have been created for the service of God, and God is telling us that if we fast and observe all that we have to observe, then He becomes the reward that we will get. In effect, we would have attained the purpose of our lives for fasting in the right way. May Allah the Almighty bless us, and may He enable us to fast in the best way and manner, and may He accept our fasting. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.